Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. Let's get to the phone call when you called me. What was it? I don't know. What is it? What, a month ago, maybe 2 months ago? You called me. You're like, "Hey, I want to go for bluefin, and I'm gonna go for bluefin. I rented this boat. It's this amount or whatever, whatever, whatever. Pay whatever you want, Brett. I want you to come and document or film me or whatever. Just be there with me when we shoot this bluefin. When I should go for this bluefin." And I was
Yeah,
thinking, like, number one, I have a boat, and you don't need to pay that much. Like, I
yeah,
got you. I got you. But number two, I was like, bro, bluefin are so, from one day to the next, they're so weird and every day. And it's like, you know what? Um, I respected what you were trying to do. And I was like, I'm going to look at my schedule. I'm going to take the week off of work, and we're
yeah.
going to go every day until you get a bluefin. And the reason why, because you said you were moving back to Guam. And I was like, well, all the more excuse. I mean, what a great excuse just to go fishing, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And I took the whole week off. I was like, okay, look, like the wind is bad on Saturday. We'll go on Sunday, and then we'll just push it all the way to Thursday. We're going to get a fish at some point. I was keeping my fingers crossed, waving we'd get a fish. And then, like, take the story from there, because it was fun.
Yeah, man, it's super fun. I've made the drive from. I'm up north right now, so I'm in by Napa. So you're talking about a crazy drive, man.
It's
I
like 10
got down
hours.
to yeah. I got to LA. I was like, man, I got two because I was thinking we were gonna dive Friday, Saturday. But when you gave me the schedule Sunday, I had already like scheduled everything to go. So I was like, let me just spend like 2 days in LA. I wound up getting super just partied out, wasted, dog. And I was like, I recovered Saturday. And I was like, man, I hope I recover in time for Sunday so I can do a diet. So then like Saturday night I drove. I felt okay. Spent the night in the truck at the dock
Yeah.
and woke up that morning and then you said the hitch.
Yeah, so I'll fill this. So I woke up about 4, got to the boat, went to lower it on on the trailer, and the trailer jack was seized up, and then it stripped like always. It was just done for, and it was like 4:30 in the morning. I was remember like about ready to cry, like this can't be happening because, like most people, I mean. I'm still like a little kid. Like if there's a big swell or if like we're going fishing, I can't sleep because the ocean always, for some reason,
Gets
gives.
you excited, bro, like pumped,
Yeah, and you
you know?
never know what is gonna happen that day. Like, still like a little kid to this day,
Yeah,
you know? And, I remember, like I remember just, like, ready to cry, and I remember texting you guys, like, first of all, everybody got up early, like, and I
yeah,
didn't get up early either, and then the fucking boat is broken, or not the boat, the trailer, and I was like, "Alright, meet back at my house. We gotta talk about some things." So we get back to the house, and then you're like, I was like, here's our three options. We can fix this thing when, West Marine or somebody opens up. I can try to buy it off, offer up if somebody's up right now. I can swap it out and we can go back out in the afternoon. Or we can go for a shore dive and try to shoot a white sea bass, even though I think the biz is shitty, whatever.
yeah.
Or we can just call it a day. I'll fix the boat and then we'll go out tomorrow. And you're like, I gotta sleep, man. I don't care. I'll take a nap. Just let me know what you want to do. I'm just gonna take a nap. I gotta sleep. I was like, all right, cool. And then John was with us from Cast and
Yeah,
Spare, and John was like, well, I drove all the way down here. Again, everybody, you guys all drove down, and he's like, I want to go get some bluefin. And I was like, all right. And we look at each other. We're like, okay. And then literally like fixed it. As soon as the doors open at 8 o'clock, went and bought the jack, fixed it. It was like 9:30. It was done. My wife helped like drop John off and like do some logistical stuff. And then like, cause he could help me drop the boat faster. Otherwise it's just me. Cause I keep it on base. And, I remember like I text you, I was like 10 o'clock, dude, meet me. And you're like, I'm on my way.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy because when I woke up and I got the text, I think I woke up to the text and it said the trailer was broken or something. And I was just like, oh wow, that's a sign. I can go back to sleep. So I'm fucking passing out. And then you're like, I think then you said meet at your house. So we met at your house. But honestly, I was still fucked up. Like I was just like, man, I'm not good. I wasn't good to dive. I wasn't not good to dive, not that bad, but
You're just
pretty much
exhausted.
like, yeah, I was like, oh, Russ, man, I think it's cool. We just call it a day. That's what I just said.
No, I
I'm
remember
down
that.
for whatever, you know?
Yeah. That's the I'm
But,
down for whatever meaning. Please say no. Yeah.
yeah. And
But I
then,
was like, nah, fuck that. Like, I'm too stubborn for that stuff, man.
no, I feel, but it's a good thing. Obviously, it's a good thing. Because even
Yeah.
after we met at your house, I went to Umi Sushi,
Yep.
the one right by there, right?
Yeah.
Umami Sushi. And I passed out in the parking lot. Right when I pulled up, I was like, wow, I just went out. And then I wound up waking up to the text that he said to meet at the bay. And I was like, oh wow. I was straight up like blacked out. But I felt so good when I got up. I was like, oh man, I'm fucking ready, dude. Let's go.
Yeah.
We're
So
about to die, bro.
the thing,
Yippee!
so people don't understand. So the thing that I love about this gentleman we're talking to is like it'll be 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's tired, and you're tying the boat up, and here he comes at the top of the ramp. He's like, "Let's fucking go!"
Let's go, boy.
And I'm
I'm
like,
ready.
"All right, we're doing this. Here we go. He's here. Let's go."
Ready, bro.
And yeah, we were heading out, and I didn't even know what to think. I just was. I got a phone call from my friend, and he's like, "Hey, they're getting him at the 9. Like they're seeing fish at the 9." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And he's like, "Well, that's not why I called. I want to talk to you about whatever." I was like, "Okay, cool." Right as we were passing the fuel dock where he owns it, and he's like, "Yeah, they're getting him at the 9." I was like, "Maybe that's a sign." Okay, cool. So we were heading out. I remember like nobody wanted to get in their wetsuit or whatever, and we get out there, and then we start seeing them. Like,
Yeah. Oh man, honestly, I didn't think we were seeing that fast. So I was just like, I was so used to taking those trips with you to San Clemente.
yeah,
So I really thought that it was gonna be that long of a ride. So I was ready to pass out on the boat. And then when you stop the boat, you're like, okay, we're here or something like that. And I was just like, whoa, we really here? Like I was like, wow, that was super fast. And then we're seeing the boils. I was like, oh wow, you're like, hey, you're like, look, that's tuna, it's tuna. Then oh man, it just all I was like, oh dude, started getting on my I got super excited. And I was like, man, let's go. So we get in. I remember got down and then I wasn't seeing nothing, but I could see bait. Was it was the second dive or was it the first dive we got there?
no, I remember the first dive. It was the foamer was like 50 yards, 100 yards off the bow for like 5 minutes. While we were getting ready, and I
Yeah,
was just kind of laughing. I was like, I do the same thing every time. I was like, I'm so lazy. I don't want to. And then it's like, and that might be your one shot.
yeah,
And of course, it's right there. And then you got in, and like typical bluefin, it was like a light switch, like phew, gone. Just anchovies, scales,
yeah.
nothing. But I
Oh
could
yeah,
meet,
yeah,
yeah. And I was metering them though. I could see like, okay, there is a ton of volume of like bait and just fish in general. And even though they went down, they didn't like disappear completely. So I was like, get back in the boat. And then we just kind of motored around. We waited a little bit, right?
yeah.
And then, yeah, go ahead. I'll let you tell the story. It's
I
your
think
story.
I think that I got it maybe a second time or third time. I forgot how many times we got until I hit it, but it was really like maybe second or third, real quick. I remember like you were saying 25 feet, 30 feet, boom, I was hitting. So when I get down to 30 or 25, I was just gunning it. I'll go deep until it was black. I couldn't see nothing. And I'm like, man, I'm looking around, no bait fish, nothing. I see nothing. So every time I came up, and I just wait for you, and then you were like 50 feet, 50. I was like, boom. So I shoot down again. I wasn't seeing nothing. Like it was black again. So I'm thinking maybe they're just going. So you know what? And I saw a boil nearby, pretty close to us. And I was like, man, hopefully they come this way. So I saw the bait. I could see the bait, and I'm like, man, since they're hitting the bait, let me just try and stay and swim with the bait. So I kept following the bait. I would just follow the bait. And I was like, you know what? Then there just became a whole bunch of bait. I was like, man, you know what? Let me try and dive this. So I dove down, and then right when I was about to head back up, dude, all I could see from the side of mine, like, boom, like movement. So I like look, and there they are, dog. Just passing me. They're like going, they're passing. I was like, oh wow, and they look huge underwater, and the one I got was only 50, right? But man, bro, they look big. So I was like, oh wow! So I get so excited, I start chasing after them. And that's where I fucked up and they all start boosting off. So I was like, oh, so I stopped and I just waited. And sure enough, they made a U-turn. And when they made a U-turn, they just came from every direction, bro. It just like almost felt like one of those
Vortex.
vortex. But they
Yeah.
were just coming and shooting in, but I could just see them everywhere. I was like, wow. So I just took the closest one I could. Fucking boom, took the shot, headed out on the line got tangled on the rubber of the gun because I didn't cock all the bands. I only cocked like 4 bands. I left like 2. And when he shot up, he took the gun with him, and I was like, oh, fuck it. I'll just fucking pull out the surface. So, man, I was so excited right when I got to the well. I was like, woo! Fucking did the rooster crow, bro. I was just so excited. I was watching the line go down. And then next thing you know, the buoy wasn't dragging no more. And I was like, oh, shit. And I grabbed the line, and the line was limp. So I was like, fuck, dude, he tore off, you know? And I was like, fuck, dude, I was already bummed out, and I started pulling on the line. And then I could see my gun coming up, and then next thing you know, he's on the line. I was like, holy shit, he's like limp, like just dead. He felt, look like he was dead. I was like, oh, no way. I started fucking super excited about just pulling him up. Finally, I bring him up, and I said, whoa, I got one. And the first barb went through. Only the first. The second one didn't get to go through, but hey, shout out to Dean, man, from Addiction Spears. Fucking killer stuff, man. Yeah, it was super dope. Bro, I was so excited, man. Talk about like, man, I was just happy, dog. You have no idea. I'm pretty sure you know, but
Did that fish?
John was there. John took the second shot because I didn't.
Yeah.
With one barb, it was stuck really good. I knew we would have still landed it, but man, I just didn't want to take no chances. I told John, hey, bro, take the fucking second shot. I don't care if you have a buoy or not, bro. Just take the second shot, you know? Because you know you had the reel. You had a reel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, you know, size, who cares? It's your fish. It's special. You don't want to miss that. Yeah,
exactly.
Dude. That's everybody knows that feeling of that pull and then the limp, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
worst feeling in the world.
I was so scared, and when I saw that bad boy, I was just like, whoo-wee.
When I was on the boat, though, because it was like literally 10 minutes of being in the zone, and I was on the boat, and I was telling you, whatever, 50, and you dove down, and I remember it was funny because I think you had a flasher with you or something.
Yeah, I was trying to use the flasher,
and I was like, this Chamorro, like, bro, forget the flasher, let's go, buddy. Like, we're not diving in the tropics, And
yeah, I'm trying to use anything, bro. I was just fucking so desperate for a fish.
Bro, it was awesome. And then you came up, yelling, and I was like, are you kidding me? We've been here 10 minutes. And I think was that your second time going for tuna, or your third? Or
that was the second time. The first time I went with you, you went to San Clemente, and remember, they were like everywhere.
Yeah.
And every time we went to a boil, bro, there's like a boil over here. Go over there, and then be over here. And then we finally dove, and they were like passing right under us.
Yep. Yeah. Stupid bluefin. Well, you got yours.